So sticking with KO now. Now we're gonna talk about KO Media, right? So totally different thing, right? Not in relation to who I mentioned there earlier, right? So I was actually recommended by the actual I believe is the guy behind the scene, the creator of this series basically to check out the first three episodes of his web series. This is called
Right.
Infection. I was made aware of it. I believe it was like around. I believe it was August, like roughly August of last year,
Right.
through my fellow, critic and colleague, Julian Neves. He actually has all three reviews of all three episodes up on his blog, Red Mango
Right. Right. Right.
Reviews. Gonna put the links to those in the description here as well. I was always meaning to check it out, but just time and priorities just got in the way.
Right.
So yeah, having the guy reach out to me, so checked it out. What it is in a nutshell is basically our take on The Walking Dead, right?
Okay.
It's
Right. Our
based
local.
off of a zombie apocalypse takes place in Trinidad. We have these two young individuals. First one being
No, but they didn't have somebody who did a zombie thing back. Oh my gosh. It was something like in a bar. Who did
oh well that is actually our UE colleagues. That
right,
was
yeah.
Andre Pierre.
Right.
Short, yeah. Well, if you're in this Andre, dude, we need a sequel, dude. Like we need it. You know what I mean?
No, but I
And it was
remember
cool because it was actually like, our alignment spot where we was in UE. You know what I mean? That's that bar that we used to go to
right.
on the main road to the put.
Right. No, but right,
Yeah,
exactly. Because I remember making this saying the joke was that, oh well, yeah, is what it was by Lime and the Dead or something like that.
Lime of the Dead. That's it. That's it.
Right. And no, I remember Ben saying, oh well, he could do Lime and the Dead, and then he could do Vibes of the Dead, and the Vibes of the Dead could be a soca fete that turned out a zombie apocalypse, and then the joke, and then the last one would have been Stush of the Dead, because that could have been in the hotel, and he could have been like in like. He could have just get a bigger budget and just have a better location. So he could like literally shoot in a hotel or something like that. No? I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember just thinking about that at the time. That I was thinking of. But I was saying Lime of the Dead, Vibes of the Dead, Stush of the Dead, like a trilogy. You know? I remember thinking
Yeah.
like in
And
my head.
it could be shorts because that
Yeah,
one was about I think it was like 5-10 minutes. I think it was. Yeah,
and
like
make it fun.
have them be
Yeah.
short. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
But do you
yeah.
think that's the problem? As usual, the problem is that the zombie thing was played out like 10 years ago. So doing that now, kind of weird. um, but whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is what makes this show pretty interesting, right? And just seeing it bluntly, COVID. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people, like for better or for worse, kind of looking at or at least thinking about
Yeah.
apocalypse
Especially
themed
virus
films.
based, especially virus based apocalypse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's a bad look.
yeah, well, okay, well, I don't want to say bad per se, right? But it's just one of those things that it'll be like not saying that you shouldn't make zombie films because of COVID, but it's just interesting now that especially here with how we're dealing with this situation here. Yeah, I mean at some point in time I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just wake up and say, boys, like we really need the Walking Dead, boy, you know what I mean? Look how we had to just deal with this thing day by day, right? And like even with the whole talk about what it is, state of emergency and all that kind of stuff, like people always talk about zombies and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it's so funny that I got to review this. You know what I mean? Right, like after the announcement was made. So
Right.
that's just amazing. But anyway, so it centers on two characters, right? Jason Kyle and Rennie Fisher, right? Played by Samuel Smith and Samara Ramratan,
Yep.
respectively. And yeah, I mean they're young individuals. They're teens basically. They meet up through some circumstances. Um, so Rennie is rocking this baseball bat, and I was like,
Yeah. Whoever
okay,
baseball.
I'm gonna put a pin on that for a bit, right? I'm gonna put a pin on that.
Obvious kind of thing already. Like why have a baseball bat in Trinidad?
I,
Yes.
I I know, like, like
Yeah.
even
Well, cricket bat.
Shawnee Dead from 2001 show that, you could use a cricket bat. Sorry,
Cricket
not from
bat.
2001, 2004, my bad. But
Yeah.
you do use a cricket bat, right?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
anyway,
unless
but
again, if you're doing something like that and then you make comment of it in the storyline, then I suppose fine, maybe. But But yeah, baseball bat. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but I think I know why it's this way, right? But I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, so it just kind of starts pretty much with them meeting through some chance encounter. Of course, it involves, the undead, walking around. And, it's not like they're running or anything like that. So it's not like 20 days later dead. It's more Walking Dead, where they're just kind of there. That's like, and then if they see somebody, then they'll shuffle or move towards you. It's that kind of thing.
right.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So just kind of going through things. Jason has his own agenda. It's basically about just acquiring items, basically, while Rennie is looking for a particular person. Although it's not really said exactly what that person is someone older than her, like someone that she knew from before, something like that she's just looking for. But it's never really established why exactly, right? And throughout the 3 episodes, we just kind of just seen the world through their eyes. In the second and third episodes in particular, they actually run into some, bandits, or should I say marauders, if you will. And it's just basically just kind of them squaring off against them, right? And yes, there are some cutlasses that are thrown into the mix. Yeah, I'll pretty much stop there, right?
Okay.
So, in terms of what you mentioned, with the whole baseball bat thing, right? So just get it out of the way. Yeah, this show is inspired by anime. And as an anime fan, I didn't mind it, but it
Fine.
is a little on the nose in terms of, okay, well, we have to have characters kind of do these fight scenes, and a majority of them involve cutlasses, so we had to do the kind of samurai stuff here or there, right? But it kind of worked though, in a sense, like if you just kind of look at it as, okay, this is just clearly something that we're passionate of, you know what I mean? So let's just kind of throw our influences into that, right? So yeah. The Walking Dead stuff is there, you know what I mean? Just in terms of just how um the lack of humanity, so to speak, that you see there. And usually when heroes run into other characters, you're not really sure what their intentions are, or what I mean, like sometimes some, like a character in particular, is usually being chased by zombies or worse, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of vibe now, where it's like every man for himself, and you literally kind of touch on that. Yeah, it's literally every man for himself in the show here, right? I would say though that it is, shot very well, what I mean, and you could really feel and see like the passion put into it. It's not just some kind of, I just wake up one morning and just do this for kicks. It just really feels like, yeah, this is something that that they just really wanted to make. They find people who are on board, and it's just they're just
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and you could tell they're having fun.
yeah.
But one thing though, actually a few things, I do have a few gripes with it, right? One is the obvious one, sound design by
Yeah.
this is something that a majority of us, like filmmakers, just can't shake, right? You know what I mean? We always have to deal with um background noise, you know what I mean, cars passing, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
hearing no conversations, you know what I mean, like people passing by and all that kind of stuff now. And what I would say though, to those involved behind the scenes, and like it's a hard thing, but it is something I always have to think about myself, is that you have to try to control everything that's being shown on screen. So whether you have to just eliminate sound altogether in post and just have just have EDR or something like that,
Yeah.
or just shoot at a time where you don't have to worry about cars passing, or just shoot somewhere where there aren't cars at all. You know what I mean? It's just something
Yeah.
you just have to be mindful of, because there's like actually, like in episode 3, for example, there's a 3D conversation scene, and roughly in the middle of it, there's rain falling, and you're hearing the rain in the background. And
Yeah.
it's made even more awkward though, because when it cuts to a particular person, you just kind of hear
So
it loner, you know what I mean?
what
But
has
when it cuts to the
yeah,
real person, you just hear the rain now.
yeah, no, but I see, bro. This thing, yeah, what I mean, the mistake they think is that sound have to be natural, and just because you're hearing it, that is a thing. It's like no, a lot of things that you're hearing in the world, even documentaries or news media, is very contrived, right, in terms of sound design. Um,
Yeah.
they don't get that now. That's just a production thing that most amateurs suffer from. It's a typical amateur mistake, unfortunately. But yeah, sound design is something you had to sort out.
Yeah,
One thing.
and speaking of sound, well, last thing I'll say about sound, there's a particular sound effect. Well, I don't. Well, I wouldn't see what it is on air, but um, if you're in the guerrilla filmmaking slash indie scene now, when you don't have a sound stage to work in, and you're mostly delegated to doing stuff either indoors or outdoors. There's a particular sound that you just can't ignore or can't escape, especially when you're shooting at night. That's all I'll say. Yeah, it's there, but it's used, especially the third episode, where literally it's on a loop, and I could tell that it's on a loop because it start like the episode starts with that sound effect, and it ends like literally while credits are rolling to the
Wow.
very end, and you're hearing this thing. Now, I
Yeah.
would understand it if it was about setting mood, or if it was like some flashback, or like if you want to be dramatic with it now, but no, it's literally there throughout the entirety of the episode. And I know, I get that you're trying to go for, well, we're trying to set the world, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is how the world sounds like, we're just hearing the sound. But no, while you're hearing it all through, especially like indoors, like in interior scenes, it doesn't work. Like if you're outside, okay, cool, but not indoors, right? And not when
Yeah.
credits roll, right? Well, that's it. Um, Also, while I understand where they're coming from in terms of the dialogue and the delivery of it, right? So just to get this out of the way, the story itself, it is, yes, it is within the whole dystopian, post-apocalyptic, zombie genre, right? So you kind of know what to expect here. You have the hero who doesn't trust anyone. He could fight because he kind of had to learn. He kind of had to know how to fight
Right.
basically.
Lone wolf character. Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of thing, right? And
Right.
there's even a great moment, actually, a good call actually, on the in the stories part, where yeah, the guy was actually like learning how to fight, learning how to defend himself because of the well, just use this term here, pandemic, right? Because there's all this threat out there. Yeah, you gotta bulk up. You gotta learn how to fight. You gotta learn to be strong and all that kind of stuff. The guy who basically is this guy teaching him how to fight, all that kind of stuff, right? The guy is cocky, but I like that cockiness about him. Where it's like, dude, like, yeah, you just have to be tougher than you would expect, Trent, because yeah, you don't know what to expect, and literally it happens to him. Like literally, the second episode, which in my opinion is the best. I'll get to why in a bit. Yeah, what I mean. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's if it's the
Right.
zombies, it's guys with cutlasses, literally wanting to kill you, Trent. So you gotta brace yourself for all that stuff, right? Yeah, in terms of the dialogue, though, I felt like delivery wise it did feel, I think stilted is an understatement. It does kind of sound again, what I mean, like anime influence. The way how
Right.
characters talk, we must talk a little slightly exaggerated here because it's the nature of that genre, it's the nature of the
Yeah.
medium itself. But here it just kind of comes off a little bit like, okay, we've just been inspired by it so much, and we wrote it this way, so we have to deliver it this way, right? And not saying that there has to be trini inflections in the dialogue, you know what I mean, but still it doesn't have to be this stilted. That's the best way I could see it. I don't know what the direction will be going forward, like if we're just gonna have characters talk colloquial or just try to have a little bit of trini in the dialogue itself, but yeah, I just felt like just dialogue wise it could have used a little punching up, right? That's in my opinion. But yeah, that second episode in particular was great though. Okay, that's where you really get to see, yeah, it's not just zombies you have to worry about. It's these, bandits, these marauders basically. And we're treated to this gang, and there's actually a great opening scene where they come across this father and daughter basically. And yeah, like kind of intimidated them now. And you know what I mean? Like I thought this that opening sequence alone and just the way how it was put together was great. And even the dialogue which I was harping on a little bit earlier, worked in that scene because you can just kind of picture it as like some scene from like a samurai anime or something like that. Nah.
Yeah.
It just kind of fit that, and then well, how it comes back in the end though, because you actually get some fight, a little fight in it too. I was like, okay, what? Like we doing this, and it's dope, and you could tell it's just that anime fandom that goes with it. But yeah, they put passion in it. I'll give them that. So
Right.
it works, and easily it's the best episode. The third one is okay for what it is. Um, but it does well end on it does have an open ending. So at the time of this recording here, that episode came out in January. So now I'm wondering if we're gonna get that fourth episode. The first episode is fine in terms of just setting up the characters, setting up Jason, setting up Rennie, their dynamic, of course, as usual. I don't trust you, you're in my way, and she's just kind of pushing herself up to, just kind of be there and help him out now. So that dynamic works, and I actually like the actors and what they did there. Just again, dialogue is a little on the stilted side of things. And last thing, I just want to say though before I wrap up, if I have one major flaw with this though, is okay. I'll just put it in just two terms: establishing shots and wides.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Common problem.
medium close-ups, mediums and close-ups in this, a little too much, and it's to the point that literally when they go to like a next scene or sequence, like you could tell, all right, they're outside, they're on the road, or they're in a savannah, or they're in a house, but because of how tight these scenes are filmed now, you just kind of wish that there's just like just one shot where you could just kind of see, oh, this is how the living room looks like. This is how the bedroom looks like. This is how the savannah looks like. Something like that. Now. So when characters kind of come in, you know what I mean, and talk, you don't have to try to figure out where they are, right? So yeah, I just wish that was just something that they could have done. And yeah, when it comes to like establishing shots, we get some stock video,
Yeah, that bullshit.
and yeah, and it's one of those things like I could let slide at times. Like we seen it before with Magnolia, which we've covered the first three episodes of, right? But what I would just say going forward, this is just constructive criticism here, is that remember we're in Trinidad here. We're trying to set up how the world looks like here, so it would help if you have shots that kind of look familiar to
local stuff.
yeah. That scene you
Is
have
it-
to reach out to a guy
Again.
who have a drone that's seeing
That is my thing.
that's
I don't
seeing
understand
that, but
why we.
is
Yeah, but
picking the
that
right
thing-
shots basically.
that thing. What I've noticed, like all of these same ads use the exact same kind of framing, and I start framing shot from of Port of Spain now. That same shot from Port of Spain, like. Well,
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Johnny Walker ad have that, and fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, is that?
Yeah, no, I know.
I always thought that somebody would have a reservoir in Trinidad, or even if you're not a reservoir, at least online, somebody that's like some local filmmaker, sorry, some person who just happened to spend time in Trinidad just run through a bunch of drone shots. Like, it's like that. I thought we had that in Trinidad. Like, you'd have that in the States, right? You just go through a bunch of stock drone shots. They're random enough where, unless you're really in the business, you won't know now.
Yeah. So we telling photographers and drone owners in this country, look to Adobe's what is not Adobe stock
no, but do that online.
What it is but basically where you could shoot video and take pictures and basically sell them now, you know what I mean, like exactly. That kind of thing. Yeah,
little things like that now. So I don't know. It's shocking how people just don't get it. But whatever, as I say, it's all part of the growing and the learning process. So
exactly.
Right.
So yeah, just a little bit more thought in terms of the shots that you use, the videos that you use, basically, as established shots, and even when it's just an area where you're shooting at. You can, and I know probably you just want to take into consideration the houses that are in the shot or cars or whatever.
No, yeah, stuff
but
like that.
But you could still kind of have the camera be someplace where we could tell, where in this house, this is how big the room is. This is what's in the room, and things like that. Now, so we don't have to go back to it again.
I sure it have some like legal reasons or whatever. It is usually like you can't just shoot in our country. Normal thing. I mean, you could get around that, but still. It have enough place in countryside. It have enough place in, enough rural areas. I'm sure you could shoot. Some set up bridges or something like that. Some place where it don't have to be directly in Arima, but like it right on the outskirts of Arima, somewhere in Mount Zion or somewhere like that, right? Or Pinto Road. I don't know.
Stuff exactly. Like yeah, right. and this also applies to interior shots as well. Like I said before, exactly. Because there's a lot of interior shots here, of course, but we just had to have a sense of where we are. And why I keep saying this before I wrap up here is because again, you just want to set up the world of this place here. So, it's not enough that you just tell us that it's a zombie apocalypse, right? But when I'm hearing characters talk, I'm hearing cars passing. So, to the untrained eye or ear, you kind of wonder, well, okay, well, if it's the apocalypse, then you're telling me that we still have public transport. What I mean?
Right, right.
So it's those little things. So that's what I'm saying. Just be
It
able
is.
to kind of control
It
everything that's
have
going on in the film.
it really it really a red band match in the background, I think.
No, no, no. Well, that's the thing. Like, you don't hear. Sorry, you don't see any other view. Well, okay. So in the third episode, the bad guys actually come in cars apparently, but you kind of just see the cars parked up. You don't see them come in with the cars basically, right? That's all I say. But yeah, it's not like you'll see like a red man maxi far off. In the shot or whatever it is. It just
Okay.
probably you might hear that, or case in point, you might hear dogs barking, you might hear chickens, what I mean? You might hear, dialogue from nearby and whatnot. So it's those little things that, just saying that you have to kind of be in control of because it will kind of take it, well, like for someone going in blind, they're going to just be wondering, okay, well, if this is the apocalypse, well, what's going on? Is it that people are just indoors? You know what I mean? Like, is it like a COVID kind of thing? Or is it just that, like Walking Dead, it's just this full wipeout of, just normal scenery? So, yeah, if you're lucky to see somebody in a car, it's probably somebody like, trying to survive, that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? And there's even a few points where literally you will hear like the director say something a little off screen, almost like they're saying action or go, like something along that line, like just telling the actor, you know what I mean? Like giving them a signal basically.
Well,
I can
that's a
just hear like
different
a
story.
little bit of it before the actor comes in. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, check that out,
that's
check that out.
no, that's something else. I mean, that's our next level of production, failure. That's just you just yeah, that's just straight up unprofessional. I mean, I ain't knocking nobody with that, but no, come on, you can't be doing that. If that's the
Yeah,
truth,
yeah.
I watch it myself, so is what you telling me.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we don't want to come off as boy. What is only the way my kind of thing is this? I am 110% on board with what these guys are doing here. I love the fact that they actually like just doing this. Just yeah, just making what it is they want to make, and I can't knock them down for that. But again, there are a few technical issues that like I should say they should really be mindful of going into the next production. Well, sorry, production of the next episode, so at least they could kind of fix on that. Because I see that. I mean, I could see this thing going on for a while now. I mean, I'm not sure how things are gonna play out honestly with this lockdown and stuff like that. But yeah, I could see this series just going further. You know what I mean? And I could just see the passion put into this. 'Cause, yeah, I could tell that everybody just having fun. You know what I mean? They get a chance to fight. They get a chance to show off with cutlass, and we just having a blast, basically, right? So that
I mean, that's the main
yeah,
thing. Is once you onset, you're sorting it out. As it's just, we live in a world where people prefer, just being nice and not professional over being very professional and not being nice, right? Just
I
human.
know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
Dutch reasons.
yeah.
Yeah. But I would say, this as a whole, this is worth checking out. This is definitely worth checking out. At least I hope now with other filmmakers down here, not calling any names, at least you could see that hey, these individuals are doing this. So yeah, I mean, yes, circumstances aside, hey, look at what they're doing, right? Look at the resources, the limited resources that they have, and look, they're still making, something of quality, something of value, right? And yeah, stuff like that, inspires me and continues to inspire me. But with all art, there's room for improvement, right? And I just hope that with the upcoming episodes or whatnot, those technical hiccups are fixed. But really, just at the end of the day, it's all a matter of just you being in control of everything. Just making sure that when we see the final product, it's exactly the way how it's shot, exactly the way it's supposed to look, lit, sounds, all that stuff. And yeah, just can't wait to see what these guys do next.
I give it a chance to see where it is missing exactly or where it is real flaws of this thing is. Because I'll pick up other stuff just to see. As I say, you do the autopsy, right? You know, why does this not work? And you work it out.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well,
exactly. Yeah. And as far as KO Media goes, because I mean this is like their first product that they have on well, first show, sorry, that they have
Yeah.
on their channel. Yeah, I mean I want to see them do more things, man. Do great things actually, not just stick to the whole vlogger stuff. You know what I mean, like that.
Right, 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 right.
Actually make fictional stuff. You know what I mean, like if they want to do other things like I don't know, reaction videos or whatever, cool. But just stuff of value, stuff that's just gonna entertain, stuff that's just gonna make people forget about all the craziness of the world or whatnot. And yeah, just kind of just kind of bring a little hope in terms of just local film down here. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So first 3 episodes of Infection are up. I'll actually gonna put the link to the YouTube channel in the description. So yeah, check it out, man. Feel free to share and leave a comment or do constructive criticism, please. This is not a chance for you to be like, boy, what kind of thing is this, boy? You know what I mean? It's not like that, right? And also, like I said before, I'm gonna put the links, to Julian's reviews off of his Red Mango's reviews blog. So yeah, check those out. Leave a comment or two, and yeah, just check it out, man. Check it out.
Hey, this is Matthew Bailey, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment of the BS Beats and Bailey podcast. If you'd like to hear the full episode, hit up my link tree. On the other side of my head are 2 videos you can check out. Like this video if you like it, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell as well. Thanks for listening, and until the next one, take care, peace.